Hello everyone, how are you doing? Thanks for clicking on my video. It is the start of another weekly craft vlog, so I hope you're all keeping well. Do let me know what you're currently working on down in the comments below. I really love reading all your project news and what you're up to. So if you're new, hello, I'm Marcea, and if you're returning, thanks guys so much. Now, the last few weeks have been pretty much knitting focused, very knit and heavy, so I'm going to try and do my best to switch it up a little bit this week. Before I do all that, I need to try and remember to let you all know where you can find me, just in case you're interested. So obviously I'm here on YouTube, but I have got an Instagram. This is a QR code. You can just scan that with your phone. My name over on Instagram is Handmade by Marcea. I'm on TikTok, and that is also Handmade by Marcea. That's a QR code there. And then if you want to find me on Ravelry, that will be linked down below. But this is what my profile looks like. And on Ravelry, I have been very good at updating all of my projects, letting you know like what the pattern is, what the yarn is, needle size, and trying to write some project notes too. All right, so let's just get the starting point for the week, so we know where we're beginning, and then we can sort of like measure the progress throughout this week. So let's have a look. Now, I'm actually going to London Friday through to Sunday, so I'm not quite sure if I'll be getting any sort of crafting done. Probably not whilst I'm away, but you never know. I might take a little pair of socks with me in my bag just in case. But the vlog will be up on Sunday at some point. So they kind of typically run from Sunday through to Saturday, then I try and upload them on a Sunday. But yeah, I'm just sort of thinking ahead where we're up to. All right, so currently what I'm planning on working on this week is I'm going to want to try and get this second sock finished, the one more step sock. So this is currently where we're up to. Let me just get my pattern so I can let you know, just in case you knew. So it is by Denise DeSantis, which is she's Earth Tone Girl, and so this is my second sock. So yeah, I want to just try and make a bit more progress on this. I'm literally just about, I've got 2 more rows before I start shaping my heel. So that's that one. Isn't the yarn gorgeous? I know lots of you know, but just in case if you're new, it is the Yarn Smith Merino sock superwash. I think it's Hazy Dreams, this shade. Ah, it's alive. And there we are. But I just really want to get this one done. Oh, guys, it's Sunday morning. We shouldn't be doing this. There is what I'm trying to show you. Just ridiculous. So, yeah, I want to get this sock finished this week, so that should happen. Most people, you see these other YouTubers and they have all these fabulous project bags. My project bag for my socks is a makeup bag from Glossy Box. I got one of the monthly subscriptions in it. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're working with there. But it is fabulous. It's really good. It's a great size. All right, so yeah, we're just up to the heel turn on my second sock. And then I'm working on my cloud sweater. I only got a couple more rows done yesterday, just before I finished off the vlog. So let's have a look. I did do a progress keeper thing on here. It was just basically a different coloured stitch marker. But I just want to sort of show you so we can see how far I've come on. So the start of last week's vlog, where that red stitch marker is where I was. So I've done the rest of the back yoke, picked up my shoulders. I've gone through this in my monthly craft update podcast, which went up on Saturday the 4th, so go check that out if you want to know, but I've talked about this a bit more. But yeah, so currently I've picked up my shoulders, left and right shoulder, and I've done the neck line, and then I'm now working down the front yoke. And so I'm going to move my little red marker down to where I'm up to here on the front, and then we can kind of track that and see where we are. So let me take that out. And okay, so we are up to, let me just pop it on here and then we can do that. It's just a really nice way just to sort of see how far I am getting on with my knitting. So we'll do it in the middle of the bit there. So that's where we're starting this week at. My little red marker's been moved down. So this week it'd be really nice to be able to just get down, or maybe just to join in the round. That's maybe where I should be aiming for this week, especially because I'm going to be going traveling down to London. I will not be taking this with me, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. This is being knit in Drops Air and Drops Kids Silk held together. It's just a beautiful colour and I love it. So yeah, that's where we're starting off at. So we shall see how we go. Now, on my TikTok, and I think, did I put it up as a short here on YouTube? You may have seen it, you may not have done. But I am going to be starting a sock from 52 weeks of socks. I have done a random wheel generator. I'll actually click that in here. I'm about to, I need to upload the little video for that, but by the time this comes up, it'll all be up on my channel anyway. So I did a random wheel generator, and the sock it came up at was number 12, which I was really pleased with. Is it linear or linear? But this is going to be the sock I'm working on. I just want to kind of like work my way through 52 weeks of socks. Sorry, this is such a rambly introduction. Hello, if you're new. It doesn't get much better, really, to be honest. So yeah, I bought this ages ago, well, a few weeks ago now. I haven't made any socks out of it, and I just thought, with it being Socktober, perfect time to get started on it. So I'm going to be maybe starting a different playlist as well, where we can put all of the socks in here. I will be chit-chatting with you in my vlogs, but I'm going to try and create a video for each sock in its own right, just like a process video. So but we'll still be chatting about it here in my vlogs, and then obviously it'll feature on my monthly roundups too. So it's up to you if you want to watch that or not. But sometimes it's quite handy if you're trying to knit a certain project, if there's just like a video just on that from start to finish, and then highlighting any problems. So it looks a really beautiful pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is by Minna Sovala, and the only thing with this is it is a toe up, which I haven't done before. All mine have been cuffed down, so that is going to be interesting. The pattern looks like it looks fine. I don't think I'm going to be phased by that. It's just, end of the day, it's just knits and pearls, isn't it? So, but it looks beautiful. So we'll see. I'm going to have a closer inspection of it, but that will potentially be getting cast on this week, or maybe not. But I just wanted to mention I have done my roulette wheel, and I'm going to be working on that sock at some point. I also need to try and do a bit of my crochet blanket and start my cross stitch, which is the little owl. Need to maybe try and start that as well. Maybe that's something I could take down with me as well. Don't know. Maybe a pair of socks down with me. Anyway, rambly. That's my intro. Thanks for coming back, and I'll catch up with you later on. I'll be getting some knitting done today for sure. So we'll see how we get on. I don't know if I should maybe do a bit on that sock, I think. Just try and get the heel done. Okay, I'll catch you all in a wee bit. Have a happy crafty week. Knitters, I'm here with an update. Let me sit you here in my chair. Don't fall over. Are you there? Oh, are you there? Are you going to fall? Let's try and find the central balance. Little update. So I've not done any of my jumper. Sorry, I'm not very prepared for this. Not done any of my jumper since I last spoke to you. However, I have been doing my sock. Are you there? We're there. I've been doing my sock and I've got on really well with it. And I've had a revelation. I'm a genius. So I have done my heel turn. So this is the... Why can't I remember what it's called? What type of heel is this? I just have such a problem remembering the name of this heel. Shadow wrap. Is it the shadow wrap heel? Shadow wrap short row? I have such a problem. Anyway, it was fine. It was no problem at all. And remember the first sock I did, I think I had a wee bit holy, it stretched quite a bit. So it was a bit better this time. Yeah, the heel is, shadow wrap, short row heel. There we go, I remembered. And now I'm just kind of wanting to crack on with the foot. I'm currently on row 23 of the foot. So about over a third of the way now, and it's really quick knit. I don't know if this one feels a bit tighter. My tension's a bit tighter than the last one. Maybe. Now, yes, my revelation is, I was speaking to you about how this is, it was in one of my videos. It was either in this vlog, last week's vlog, or my monthly roundup. I cannot remember which one it was. But I was just saying how I felt like my cable was twisted because it's all pulling outwards. And I've just realised, I think just this fixed needle is maybe just slightly too long. And then I was looking, because it's all the videos and everyone says how about using 9-inch circulars. And these I ordered right at the beginning, and they ordered the Knit Pro Nova, and I've double checked back and they are 10-inch circulars. And all the rest of my needles that I buy now are the Knit Pro Zing. So I had a little look, and the Zing come in 9-inch circulars, so 1 inch smaller. So I have ordered some 9-inch ones, so they should hopefully be coming later this week, and then we'll try it and see. Because what I'm thinking now is, because it's kind of stretching it, because when I'm knitting, obviously these are going up to the ends, but all this then is getting quite stretched out. So yeah, I just think it's just slightly too large a cable, and I think that the 9-inch circulars will be fine. So these will probably be fine if I'm knitting something for Glenn, or I don't know. But that was that. Next thing, I've ordered my interchangeable needle set, and I'd said I'd got the Knit Pro Zing Deluxe needles. Ordered them, no problem. Anyway, hadn't even thought about this. Lorraine, lovely Lorraine, who has followed me through all my weight loss journey and everything, and she's a massive knitter, had says, oh, what size tips have you got? Because oh no, was she mentioning maybe about, she'd seen the let me give a sweater. She was talking about when I do my cloud sweater. She says, oh, those needles you've got, you're not gonna be able to do your sleeves with them because the tips are too long. So yeah, for like these bits, and I measured them, like these are really long, so she says you're gonna struggle to do your sleeves. However, when I'd ordered my needles for this jumper, I'd bought some fixed needles in, I think it was the 40, 60 and 80 centimetres. And these are the 40 centimetre ones, and these are actually only the 4-inch tips, so they should be fine, because she says you're going to need 4-inch tips to do your sleeves or hats and things like that. So she said, did she say, so I think the ones you've ordered are going to be, you won't be able to use them for your sleeves. So I was like, oh, poo. So I thought I'll go on and I'll maybe try and change my order. However, being dispatched. So I thought, well, I've ordered the same set as well, but with the short tips as well, so with the 4-inch tips. So I thought that way they come with some smaller cables as well, and I can do hats and things with them, and at least then I'll have all of the tips that I need, loads of cables, and I won't be then worried about if my gauge, when I do my gauge swatches now, I won't think, oh no, I don't want to do it because I'm going to have to buy a load of new sets of needles. So at least this way, am I rambling? I think I'm rambling. When I do my gauge swatch, if it's not right, I can just, it doesn't matter because I've got all the needles I need anyway, and I'll just change it and try it with that, and then I'm good to go. So I'm really excited now. So I've got 2 sets of needles coming, so I'll show you them when they arrive. And then they do like little tiny ones, so let me know, like the little short ones, like the little tiny ones as well. And I could probably, they don't bother me. These are quite comfy to knit with. I don't know, do I need them as well? Who knows? But I've got the Knit Pro Zing deluxe set. That's what I've ordered. When they come, I'll show you. I haven't got the Thankyous, thank goodness, because I'd have been really sad. And I can see how I get on. If I still keep knitting lots and lots of lovely things, it may be something I can treat myself to next year. However, I may just get on with these and they'll be fine. So I'm really happy, because I think it's actually maybe a happy accident, because at least this way, by ordering the larger needles, like the 5-inch tips set, I've got longer cables in them, and then now I've got the midi set with the short, is it a midi set? Anyway, it's a shorter set, the shorter tips, and their needles are smaller, and their cables are smaller as well. So I'm gonna have a really nice mix of cables. All the tips are going to be interchangeable with all the cables, and I think it'll just work out really, really well. And then yeah, we'll see how we go, and then I'll just keep adding in, and because I just love buying things. I'm an absolute nightmare. And what was really nice is Glenn's like, oh, will you knit me some socks? I was like, ooh, yeah. And he says, oh, I'd quite like, I says, what colour do you want? He says like maybe like blues and greys and things. So anyway, obviously I didn't have any. He went something like what you're doing there, but blues and greys. So obviously it meant I could go and buy some more yarn. So because I was ordering, so I think this is how it started off. So I went last night and had a look on Wool Warehouse at the yarn, and so I've got some. I should put a load in my basket. He's pulling faces at me outside the window. He's an absolute idiot. There he is. Anyway, so I put a load of different types in my basket, and then I said to him this morning, which of these do you like? So he's picked one that he likes. I ordered 2 balls. They're 100-gram balls, but I thought, number one, he's got bigger feet than me. Depending, he might want a longer leg length. If there's anything with a cable or ribbon or whatever, it might just sort of like need a bit more yarn. So I put a couple of balls of that in my basket. And then I've put some of the 9-inch fixed circulars. So for my socks, I've put a couple of 2.25s in there, and then I put one 2.5 9-inch fixed circular in my basket as well. I've ordered the new 4-inch tip kit in there, the yarn, I think maybe that's it. So when all that comes, when my Wool Warehouse stuff comes, we'll do a little Wool Warehouse haul video. Yeah, but I'm really excited. He wants me to knit him some socks, so that's really, really good. I also ordered a sock ruler so that I can, it'll help me when I'm knitting my socks for other people. But also my first sock from 52 weeks of socks is a toe up, so I think it's going to be really useful for that. But I ordered it from, was it Yarnistry? And I hadn't realised that she makes them to order, and it could take potentially a couple of weeks for it to come. The one on Wool Warehouse was out of stock, and they use the Yarnistry ones anyway. So I thought, well, if they're stocking theirs, they must be all right. So yeah, I ordered direct from there. So I'm just going to be waiting for that to come whenever it arrives. I thought I'd rather do that rather than getting something random off Amazon or whatever and it not being quite right. Okay, right, notification, my washing machine has just finished. So that is a cue for me to go empty that. Stop yabbering on about nothing, but I just wanted to come on. That's a tractor, sorry guys. I wanted to just come on and let you know that's what's been occurring. And who knew that making socks and your own jumpers was so expensive? Right, no more purchases now until the new year at the very least. I'm putting myself on a ban from now on until next year. So you've heard it here first. I'm not buying anything else now at all. At all. Ever. Right, I'm going to go and do this, and I'll catch you all a bit later. Hello crafty friends, it's Tuesday and my delivery from Wool Warehouse part 1 has arrived. So these are, I believe, my interchangeable needles, which in hindsight I should have ordered probably the 4-inch ones, but having said that, these have got longer cables than the 4-inch ones, which are coming probably later in the week. Ooh. So here we are. And they have got the Knit Pro Zing Deluxe interchangeable needle set, and they are the 5-inch tips. And yeah, I ordered yesterday the 4-inch tips because I won't be able to do sleeves and hats with these. Never mind. She'll have a little look. So it's a set of 8 interchangeable needles in sizes, in interchangeable needle sizes in an attractive fabric case. It's got the swivel cables on them. And contents, it's got 8 interchangeable needle sizes. Needle sizes are 3.5, 4, 4.55, 5.56, 7, 8, which is US 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10.75 and 11. And it's got 4 stainless steel 360-degree swivel cables to make needle lengths of 60 centimeters / 24 inches, 2 80 centimeters, which are 32 inches, and a 100 centimeter, which is 40 inches. There's 8 end caps, 4 cable keys, and 1 set of connectors. The cable length is measured from tip to tip of when assembled with the needles. So that's important to know. I think different brands have different classifications. Let's bring it out and have a look. Oh, nice. So there's a lovely fabric little case. It's got a zip on the back. What's in the back? Oh, that's where my bits and pieces are. Oh gosh, there's not a lot of room to get in here. Let me just close this first and then we'll look at the needles. So, oh, I thought it would just open up. I actually thought this would open up that way. All right, so you pull it out. And okay, so they are just like on this little bit here, and they sit inside like almost like a pencil case, really. All right, so we've got the tips, and they're all in the color coded ones that we know and love, and gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. So at least now it should be yeah, I should be able to sort of make a lot more. And I think like with the jumper, like part of the thing about me not doing a gauge swatch was, number one, I was worried about the amount of yarn I'd need, which is actually, now I'm knitting this, is ridiculous because a gauge swatch would not take very much yarn at all. But number two, I'd bought all of my fixed circular needles in the 4.5mm, and I thought, oh gosh, if the gauge is wrong, we have to go buy them all again in the next one. Whereas now, actually, if my gauge is wrong, it doesn't matter. I just change my size. I've got all my needles here that I need. So that for me is going to be really, really good. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And then, so they'll just slide in there. And then in the back, yeah, you've got all the accessories. It's a bit snug, I have to say, to get in. But we've got everything. Let me put it all out here. What have we got? Make sure we've got everything. Is there another cap somewhere? There we go. Right, then we've got the cables. So we've got, that's a shorter one there. That'll be the 40 centimetre, is it? Did it say 40? Can't even remember what it said now. I just not to tell you, that's a 40 centimetre. I've just not the remote control with my elbow. Let me just make sure that sounds. Oops!
Toilet, shower.
Sound off. There we go. Get off. so, oh, goodness me. Let's try and turn that off a minute. There we go. Turn it off. Yes. Right, so we've got the 40 centimetre. The 2 lots of 80 centimetres, which is those, and then that one will be the 100 centimetres. I've got all my cables, which is really good. I've got my, this is what I'm excited to have as well, so I can try sweaters on and just like pop the little end things on so that the stitches aren't going to fall off, which is great. So there's 4 of them. We've got, I'm assuming this is the little connector doodah. I'm going to leave that in there. And then what's this? Oh, I've got more 8 caps. Oh yeah, 8 end caps. Excellent. There's a, where's the pin? Oh, the pins must be in here as well. So are the pins in here? Let's have a little look and just check, make sure that we've got everything that we should have included. This is stuck down very, very tightly. Little envelope. That's actually glued down. Can I get in? No, can I heck? Can I heck? Right. Not ideal. Right, and what have we got in here? We have got, yeah, we've got the connectors and the pins. So we should have 4 cable keys and 1 connector. So I've got 4 cable keys, which are them. And it says 1 connector, or 1 set of connectors. So yeah, there we go. Which is like 2 little connector things as well. So I suppose there I can put my cables, attach them on to make them even longer. I'm going to put them back in this little packet and try not to lose them. Why are you whistling? This is my craft vlog. It's stupid. So yeah, that is a little set of stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'll pop this all in here, and then as I say, in the next couple of days I'll have another little haul to show you as well. Right guys, oh, I'll give you a quick update of my sock. I haven't done any work on my sweater. I'm just trying to get this sock finished before I go to London. So it's coming on quite well. Let me just pop that there. I wish that opened. I just thought in my head that opened up like a book. That's what it kind of looks like, but it doesn't matter. It keeps it all in there nice and neat. So there we are. That's that. My sock. Oh, I've got a really bad back today. It's coming on really, really well. I'm currently on row, where are we? 59 of my foot. Oh my gosh, I'm nearly done. So I think I'm on here. I have to go up to 68. So virtually finish my foot, and I'll be on to the toe decreases. So nearly done. Almost finished. Actually, if I say I can get that done today, then that's finished, and then I'll be able to crack on with my sweater, which is super duper. All right then. Right, I'll catch you all in a little while. I don't think I've been on very much this week, updating things. It's just been a really busy week at home, sort of sorting things out. We're getting the bathrooms done next, and our bedrooms as well. So it's just been super busy, and I've been like taking my parents to the solicitors to sort the wills out. So not much crafty time really, but I have managed to finish my socks. So let me just show you that. We'll pop them on as well. And I've bought a couple of bits and pieces as well. So I'm going to show you those. We're probably going down to London. Well, we are going down to London tomorrow. Potentially may travel down tonight part way. So really, I'm not sure how much knitting I'm going to get done now for the rest of the week for this vlog. But let's get you up to date at the moment. So yeah, last night I finished my other sock. It was, which one was it? The left one. So it's the left one. So I finished this one. Now I feel my gauge is a lot tighter on my left sock compared to my right, which is really weird. I've done the same rows and everything, but I just feel it's a little bit tighter. I tried them on last night. I'll try them on for you now and show you them. But yeah, there's the left sock. There's the right. Yeah, and it just feels a bit snugger on the foot. Now, I don't know if it's because I've been... Sorry, tractor's just come by, I think. When I've been knitting this on an evening, I've had like my craft light on, like this, which is also a magnifier. So I think I've been like knitting through, like looking through the magnifier anyway, and I'm not sure if I've just been like tightening my stitches a little bit more, which has obviously just maybe affected my gauge slightly. It's certainly, if you look at the stockinette part, I do think it's a wee bit tighter. Oh, that's the right one. Who knows? But I'll show you them on my feet. They should both be the same, but yeah. Anyway, finished those, and Glenn has asked for a pair for himself, not in pinks. So we've selected some yarn. He quite liked this little cable design and things. So whilst I was trying to find another pattern to knit for him, because you know it's like knitting two things on the trot the same, but it's a really easy pattern to do, and it's easy to do on a night, so it shouldn't take too long to do. And it'll be done when it's done, I suppose. So yeah, we've chosen some yarn for that. It's come, so I'm going to show you all of those. So that's them finished socks. I'll pop them on in a minute. So the yarn for Glenn, he has selected, so we've got, I wasn't quite sure how many balls we'd need, because obviously his feet are bigger than mine, larger circumference as well, and because these just felt a little bit tighter, I thought maybe move up a needle size. So these were knit on 2.25 millimeters, so I thought let's get a 2.5, and I need a 2.5 for the socks I'm going to be doing in 52 weeks of socks anyway, so I've got some things for that, so I'll show you them. But the yarn that he ended up selecting, I'm really pleased actually, because it was Yarn Smiths, which is the same as this. This is the Merino Sock Super Wash. Now the shade, I've written it in my Ravelry page. What was it called? I want to say Rainy Days, but that might be wrong. I'll pop it on the screen, the name of it. But the actual shade is 2G060. And so what I did, because these are 100 gram balls, I have ordered two balls of it. And then I thought, even if it doesn't take it, I could maybe make him a muscle bra hat out of the other skein. I think it probably look nicer as a muscle bra hat. And then he'll have like a nice warm hat. And if he doesn't want that, I can just knit it and gift it to someone, or just keep it for socks. We shall see. But obviously he's going to need a longer foot length and probably a longer leg length. I feel these are too short for me, to be honest. Bit sad really, because they were meant to be shorty socks, as I mentioned. I added a few rows on. To be honest, I should have added a lot more leg length. But yeah, it's a learning process, isn't it? I'm still pretty new to sock making. At least I know what length of sock I don't like. So I do think we'll probably make them a wee bit longer for Glenn and see how it goes. So yeah, so I picked these up from Wool Warehouse. And then alongside that, so I cast on last night and I have started, we've done a few rows of rib. It's a double rib. It's coming on really well. Now, do you remember I'd said how I felt like my stitches were being really stretched on my needle. Then I discovered that the circular needle I had was actually a 10-inch. So I ordered a 9-inch fixed circular needle in 2.5, which is what this is. And you can see the difference straight away. It's a lot better. They're not stretched at all, so I'm really happy to have had that. So yeah, I picked this one up. I'll link everything down below in the description box. So yeah, this is a 2.5 fixed circular. Got that. So brilliant. I'll do his socks. And I thought, oh my God. I also use DPNs and Magic Loop when I'm making, stop squeaking your toes, Glenn. He squeaks his shoes. He drives me like, he's been told off. But yeah, I thought, oh no, I've ordered this. I'd put my order in and I was like, I haven't got DPNs or a longer fixed needle to do Magic Loop. So I had a look on Amazon, had a look on Wool Warehouse, and they were cheaper on Wool Warehouse than Amazon, but obviously Amazon could come the next day. And if I ordered on Wool Warehouse, I thought I'm going to end up spending 30 quid to get a free delivery, and then that's a bad idea just for a couple of sets of needles. So I went into, we've got a couple of shops locally which sell like yarn and needles and everything. So I nipped into the closest one and they didn't have the size that I needed. They didn't have the 2.5. So I thought, ugh. So we were dropping my parents off after the solicitors and there was one in the town where they live. So I ran in there and they did have them. And it was the Knit Pro Zings, which was brilliant. So I got the 2.5 millimeter, I got the 16-inch, like 40 centimeter one, so I can do Magic Loop for the toes on them. And that was just like $5.60 locally, so that was good. And then I got a pair of, a set of DPNs as well in the 2.5. So that's kind of like the little set there. So I can make socks now with 2.5s. I've got everything that I need, so that is really, really good. I was looking on Ravelry last night and then I realised, I was just sort of looking through all the different tabs and things and I hadn't realised this at all. So I've discovered that actually you can put on what needles you've got a table, and so all the sizes you've got, you can enter in there how many of each size you've got. And I thought that is so handy because I've always got my phone with me, and so it's a good way of knowing what size you've got. If you want to check a project, you can see, have I got the right needles for that project? Do I need to buy anything? You know, blah, 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 blah. And it saves you getting duplicate needles. So I'm going to start to input them in there. So when I do, I'll do a bit of a screen recording and I can just insert it, and then, or we can just sort of go through it and have a look. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, I was just looking through all the feet. I thought there's so many features. I have started trying to add on my yarn, but I think we're going to have a week when we get up in my craft room and we're going to just sit and log every single ball of yarn that I've got, because I think I'd like to have that done by the end of the year, because then I think what it'd be really good to do is see, like, as a collective amount of weight of yarn that I've got, and then as I do my projects we can deduct that down, because I've got way too much. And I'm hoping it's going to be a way of, like, with my beauty products, I used to do like a shop my stash and do different projects, just trying to get rid of all my beauty products, and I'd like to do the same with all my wool. So I thought it'd be really good to sort of have a starting point, and it might stop me going to these Aldi yarn events and buying way too much yarn. That he's like, yes, he doesn't believe me though. I'm not sure if I believe myself, but I think it'll be quite a good thing to do, just to actually really realise just how much I've got. But also, by logging all of my yarn in and in my stash, I can have a look at how much I've got of each colour, each different weight, different brands. So when I want to make a project, first thing I can do is I can have a look and say, have I got enough to make that? Yes, right, let's go up there, select that and use it. So that's going to be the plan. So anyway, yes, I'm getting distracted. That's all my 2.5s I've got there. What I was going to say to you, Lorraine had mentioned when I was knitting my jumper, she says, oh, you're not going to be able to knit your sleeves with the needles you've got because the circumference will be too big. You won't be able to get the angle. So if you remember that I'd ordered my interchangeables, and then she says I should have got the 4-inch tips, not the 5. So that was a problem. And also, because I wanted to knit a lot of hats. So I showed you the other day, didn't I, my new, where did I put them? My new set of interchangeables. And so I went on, I thought, right, I'm really serious about my knitting now. Let's just get a set of interchangeables with the smaller tips, the 4-inch set. So I've just gone and ordered them, guys. I will link them down below. I've got these from Wool Warehouse, but they're the same price, I think, on Amazon as what they are on Wool Warehouse for these. So I'll link them if you want. So these ones are the special interchangeable needle set. They're the Zings, which I like, so they're all colour coded. Circulars in 40 centimetres, which is 16-inch, and also 20-inch, which is 50 centimetres. Get 8 interchangeable sets of the needles in a fabric case with the swivel cables and all the other little bits and pieces that come with it. Needle sizes that are included are 3.5, 4, 4.55, 5.56, 7s and 8s, which is US 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10.75 and 11. You also get 4 stainless steel swivel cables in a length, 2 sets of 40 centimetre, 16 inches, and 2 sets of 50 centimetre, 20 inches. You get 8 end caps and 4 cable keys. And it says with the Knit Pro, when it says the cable length, that is measured tip to tip, from the needle tip to the other needle tip and the cable. It's not the actual length of the cable, it's the total length. Obviously these I will be able to also interchange with these. So if I want to use smaller needles with a longer cable, I can, and vice versa. So these look really nice. I had a quick look at them and they're absolutely lovely. So they've got the little case which matches the case of the bigger ones. So here's the bigger one, here's the little one, so at least I'm not going to get them mixed up. And you can just, I'll show you the difference in size. So yeah, here are the smaller tips, really lovely, compared to, you can sort of see straight away like the larger tips. So you can just see there's a big difference in how you're going to be able to sort of like work around like sleeves, cuffs, hats, etc. So yeah, she was absolutely right. And that's just, again, part of your learning process, isn't it, as a knitter, that, oh, actually, yeah, you think, well, that needle will do that job, but actually it doesn't. There's more to think of than just the actual diameter of your needle. So I've got the smaller set here, which is lovely. So you've got all of the needles there, colour coded as you'd expect. And then on the other side of the case, it's just like a little pocket. In the pocket, I've got like the 2 sets of, well, there's sort of 4 cables all together in there. So you can see they're a lot smaller compared to the other ones. If you want to have like a more detailed thing about these, I can sort of certainly do a video that's separate. You've got 8 end caps, which is great. So you can then keep your work on the cables and use your needles on something else. And then in here, we've got like the little pins. Did it have any connectors in this, did it say? I don't think it did, but I have got some connectors in my, the larger set. No connectors on this one, but that's okay. You can buy extra accessories and cables and things as well, just to add into your collection, which is really good. So it tells you there about using the pin, I think, just to sort of tighten things up. And yes, I just think it's really lovely. Now, when I was ordering this, I made a bit of an error, because originally I thought, oh, well, I'll order some short tips, of 4-inch tips, and I could just use them with my cables from my large set and do like magic loop. So I'd added the short tips into my basket, and then I was getting Glenn's wool. I added this in, blah, blah, blah. I forgot to remove the tips. So I have got a spare set of 4.5 millimeters, 4-inch tips, which is a little bit silly and annoying of me. However, it doesn't really matter. So I've got an extra set of these. There we go. It don't matter. But yeah, that was my mistake. I also ordered 2 more sets of 2.25 millimeter fixed circular needles. I've got the Zing ones, and these are the 9 inches. So I thought we'd compare, because I've been knitting on the on the 10-inch circulars, and now I'm going to be doing the 9. So I thought, let's have a little look at them and just compare what they are like side by side. So the ones I was using before were the Nova, so that's it there, 2.25 but 10-inch, and now I'm switching over to the 9-inch. First of all, from the Nova compared to the Zing, the actual needle length is shorter. So you can see this top one is the Nova, the bottom one is the Zing. So the actual needle tip themselves are smaller, and these are the fixed ones. And then you can see there how much shorter it is in total length. So when you're doing a little sock, that's quite a difference, and it's definitely a lot more comfortable. The needles aren't stretching out, so I'm a lot happier, especially as I want to go on to colour work and cables and lace. I don't want to be stretching my stitches and distorting the pattern, so I'm happy. So yeah, and I got 2 sets of the 2.25s in 9-inch, just because I can be knitting a couple of socks at a time, and for these, you know, I can knit 1 pair, both socks simultaneously, or yeah, work on a different sock at the same time, and just sort of be able to sort of chop between the 2. So I got them. That's everything I got from Wool Warehouse, and then a little local shop as well. Gosh, that was a bit rambly. Oh, let me just try my socks on. I'll be back in a tick. Right, then let's get these socks on. I've still got the cast on edge there. So yeah, there is a left and a right sock. So I'll put the right sock on first. This definitely feels looser. Once they've blocked though, they probably won't make much difference. So the right sock is, let me just tuck the ends in so it looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, first of all, I'm not really fond of the length. And this was the shadow wrap heel, which I haven't done this heel before, but it was quite nice. It seemed to fit my foot quite nicely, this one. So this was the right one. Oh, It's my mother on the phone. Hang on. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, there's the first sock. And I quite like it, and I feel it's quite nice. But I do feel like these, like the pearl rows here are a bit stretched out. I'll put you overhead in a minute. But that's the first one. Just not keen on the length, the height of the sock, if I'm honest. It's like an ankle sock, I suppose. It's not too bad. So let me stick the left one on, and we can go overhead, and I'll show you there. But yeah, I think these might be better on the 2.5. I think my gauge is just a little bit tight. But this one definitely feels shorter, and it feels stretched out. I don't know what's happened, and even on the heel, it feels like it's a wee bit short, which is so strange. So I just must have been knitting at a tighter gauge. But they are nice socks. They're lovely. Lovely pattern, but I just feel they feel a little bit tight. Let me pop you overhead. So here's the socks. They're really nice pattern. I think they're lovely. Really lovely. But can you see here, I feel like they're very stretched out where the knits go to the pearls before the cables. I just feel that's such a wide stretch. Because even on this sock to this sock, can you see, this is one that I thought was a tighter gauge. And I think it is, because this is stretched right out from the toe, whereas this is narrower. So yeah, I'm not really happy about it, but we'll see what the 2.5s are like, so at least I can try them on. Oh no, because Glenn's is a 72 stitch. This is a 64 cast on stitch. I'm doing Glenn's in the 72 because I'm doing this larger size and with a larger needle, but they'll probably be fine. We'll see. I wanted them to be better, you know, but there we are. It's a really nice pattern.